not too often we stay at a campground for a week. We're actually here 7 nights. We're at Jellystone in Montrose, Colorado. Really the only complaint I've got is I booked it online. They said they had some budget sites for $32 a night. I booked those. I got here, and those budget sites for this Jellystone are like in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we'd have to like rent a taxi to get over to where the playground's at. So we ended up having to swap our site to $39 a night, which is fine. I mean, we try to average around $30 a night. So sometimes it's 40, sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's nothing. But that's what we go for as far as an average. So campground deal breakers. These are things that if we read reviews and see a consistent pattern of these things going on, we usually, unless we're just totally desperate and have nowhere else to go, we try to pass on these kind of places. One is rude owners. Kicking people out for no reason, being totally just all down people's backs, saying one thing, doing another. If I get the gist that the people who own or manage the campground don't care about the people there, we try not to give them our business. 2, unreliable hookups. If we read about people constantly having problems with stuff shorting out, or being, the polarity not being right, or the sewer's not working, or the sewer backing up, or just anything that just sounds like the place has just really gone downhill and you can't even hook your RV up reliably, that's probably a pass as far as that. If it's a dangerous area, if either I look on Street View or from reviews, people are talking about, hey, my stuff was stolen, or I don't feel safe, that's a huge no-no for us. It doesn't need to feel dangerous. And lastly, noise to us is not that big of an issue. If something says highway noise, we've rarely ever noticed highway noise from inside our RV. The main thing for noise we watch out for now is trains. You will find a lot of campgrounds, I guess because the land's cheaper around the train tracks, with trains close to them. If a train comes through once a day, it's not a big deal, but if there's just a constant train noise, that typically is heard pretty clearly inside of our RV. Things that we don't care about that maybe other people do, but we usually, we see it's a chance to get maybe a little bit better deal on a place. If people say it's a little run down, if the roads are a little rough, bathhouses aren't that clean, or there's not that many amenities, we don't care. We're self-sustained. We've got no hookups a lot of the time, so it's not a big deal to us if the bathhouses aren't perfectly in order. If the Wi-Fi's not that great, we've got our hotspot, so that's not a huge deal to us. And then, like I said, traffic noise. Typically that doesn't bug us too much in our RV. Ah! Ah! All right, you may come inside. Coming in, let's go. Isn't this little cabin thing nice? If you've never been to a Jellystone, it's more than just hookups. I mean, especially on the weekends, they have hay rides and bonfires, and they had an ice cream eating contest, bingo, just all kinds of little games for the family. The main reason we wanted to stay here is we wanted Tinsley to have a chance to hang out and play with other kids.
Apples?
Apples? Oh yeah.
Yummy.
Yeah, they are yummy. And believe it or not, there are apple trees here, and you can just go get free apples fresh off the apple tree whenever you want. Go get some apples, come on. Show me, you gonna go get them? When it comes to prices for campgrounds, the 2 biggest factors are amenities and location. We've got our Subaru, 30 miles a gallon. And we're okay with parking just a little bit outside of the main attraction area sometimes, and saving, instead of paying $70 a night, we can pay $30 to $40 a night. Some of the Jellystones you go to are like a mini theme park. They have like water slides and putt-putt courses, and instead of $39 a night, you'd be paying, $60 to $80 a night. A lot of it just depends on what you're looking for, what you can afford, and how close you want to be to the area attractions. The important thing is to just know your budget, and then have a general idea of what you can get with that budget, be realistic. When it comes to RVing compared to living in a house, I mean, we're steps away from a playground, steps away from a pool, steps away from apple trees. So for $39 a night, it's not bad. This is kind of the barn area. This is where they have their events. A lot of them that are indoors. You got ping pong, pool. There's a weight room upstairs. I don't show this to show specifically this campground necessarily, but this is, when it comes to Jellystone or things that are a little bit step up from your typical private places, it's pretty standard for them to have a lot of these kind of things that you can look for. We try to have variety in the way we camp. Sometimes we've got nothing. I mean, we're parked out in the woods, no hookups. Hensley's entertainment's going to be whatever sticks and rocks she can find. But we're mainly there to explore the area with hiking, driving around, that kind of thing. But we also like to have the balance where we come somewhere like this, where we just got the full hookups, tons of things to do, people and kids to hang out with. If you do all Jellystones, you'll be broke. Or if you do all camping in the middle of nowhere with no hookups, you'll probably start to feel a little lonely and possibly bored sometimes, especially if you got kids. So that balance has been really good for us to mix it up with that.
Bun.
Boom, boom. You bounce it off your head. Ready? 2, 3. Book. And you do want to pay attention to what time of year it is. This past weekend, it was packed here, just packed. But now, like during the week, school's out, people are back to work. It's kind of like a ghost town now during the week.
Hey, Daddy. Wiggle, 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 right away.
Hey, I know you did a good job putting your boots on, Hensley, but they're on the wrong feet. You ready to go outside? All right, come on. Toddlers can get bored pretty fast, so it's nice to have her be able to go from one activity to the next with so many different things to do here. We've got some sort of a disc golf thing going on here. There's Gaga Ball over there, which I had no clue what Gaga Ball was. We read the rules. It's pretty much like a dodgeball below the knees inside of an enclosed ring. Sounds pretty fun. You gonna play? Let's see how you play. This is Hensley's version of Gaga Ball. Hey, what are you doing? Hey! That's not how you play. Oh! What do you think about Jellystone?
It's been good, you know, for her to have kids to interact with and games and a playground, and actually it's kind of been good for all of us, I think, because, you know, it's given her and us a little bit of a break. So I think it's a good mix-up. I don't know if I'd want to do this all the time, but it's definitely more vacation mode than lifestyle mode.
You know, this Jellystone's made us rethink campgrounds that are geared toward families and kids a little more. It's been really nice. You know, Hensley can just walk over and go play in the playground. We don't have to worry about people speeding through here 100 miles an hour. It is heavily enforced as far as keeping kids safe. And we've had a few people ask us about security and do we feel safe when we're RVing. I think the majority of that comes down to where are you RVing. But for us, most everywhere we've stayed, we felt safe. I'm not saying we leave our wallet sitting on the car the whole time we're gone, even though the guy that, the manager of this campground told me I could and it would still be there when I got back. But I don't know that I'd try that. Like this Jellystone, for instance, like they've got one entrance. The camp hosts stay right there at the entrance. Everybody has a tag. They have a camera set up that videos everyone who comes in. Everybody checks in. Even if you have a guest that comes in, they have to check in. I mean, it just feels super safe.
You have to pay for that extra security that we're, you know, we usually camp a little bit cheaper, but we don't camp to the point of at places where we don't feel safe.
I think the more you spend, typically the safer it's going to be. That's not always the case. We felt safe. The Walmart parking lots have security lights. They even have security that drives around sometimes in the parking lots. You're usually not alone in the parking lot. You know, as far as just pulling over and finding somewhere free to park for the night, that's one of the safer places I think you can do it. I've read some stuff about rest stops and places where if you pull off by yourself close to the interstate especially, where I don't feel like it's quite as safe. This is a theory, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the crimes that are committed are crimes out of convenience. So I think if you're parked next to an interstate by yourself in a dark area, like say at a rest stop, and people are just driving through and see the RV there and poke their buddy and say, hey, do you want to try to hit this one? You know, I mean, to me, that's kind of, I don't think it's like they're looking for ways to climb fences at Jellystones and, you know, and sneak around. And I mean, I just don't think that, I could be totally wrong, but I think a lot of it's out of convenience. So, and we've stayed in some mobile home parks too, but that's something I look for, especially in those, is get a feel for the reviews of whether or not people say it's safe. If people are like, oh, there's break-ins or there's cops here all the time, it's not safe. We don't touch that kind of place. No, that's not to say we're against mobile home parks, because we have stayed in a couple of those. I don't know, we felt safe in those a lot too. It just depends on the park. It depends on how it's managed and the people around. And
the area. I mean, a lot of times an area has a lot to do with safety and security.
I definitely try to make friends with the neighbors as soon as we pull in, especially like a mobile home park, something like that, get a feel. And I would say if I started making friends and red flags start going off immediately, we might pack up and leave. That hasn't happened, but you know, that's not a bad idea too.
I can honestly say we've never stayed anywhere where I've felt unsafe though.
No, we haven't like kept one eye open at night and been worried about anything. Or when we leave, we're like, man, I hope our RV isn't broken into when we get back. Or
Never
really
had that
not.
concern.
No, I think if your budget, you know, is just $100 or $200 a month. I mean, I think you can do that, but I think you do need to maybe have more caution as far as the places you stay. Just don't let yourself be too secluded and too dark of an area.
And that's for us personally. Other people
Yeah.
might have different experiences, but that's just kind of our experience.
Really funny. Yeah, hula hoop? Can you hula hoop? Yeah, all right. Job, Hensley. You hula hooping too? Yeah.
Woohoo!
So has it been worth it to us to pay a little extra, $39 a night, to stay here at this Jellystone? I'd say yeah, it has. I mean, we wouldn't stay here every night that we're traveling full time, but it's been good to mix it up. It's been good for Hensley. It's been good for us. In reality, compared to, we paid $18 a night for, you know, in the National Forest for just a spot that pretty much shared a spot with the people next to us the last night we were there. No hookups, no city that close to us. Really the only thing to do was go hiking, as opposed to here. I mean, we've got a national park within 30 minutes. We've got the town's like 7 minutes down the road. And we've got tons of amenities here. That's how we travel. That's what we've experienced with this place. And that's been something, I don't know, we've kind of tried to have a good balance with the campgrounds as time went on. You just got to figure out your flow as far as where you like to stay and what you like to do. I'm gonna get back to playing with my daughter and we'll catch you guys later.